Relationships are all we have at the end of the day. You can't, you don't want to be the richest bloke in the cemetery. You don't want to be the person that has 10 people at your funeral because the only people that you ever had a relationship with was your customers. If you don't have time, you need to make time. So if you are a person that is running around in your business like a headless chook, a person who has no time for their family, doesn't get to the soccer or the netball games, who doesn't make time for friends, who doesn't make time for their health and fitness, who doesn't make time to eat properly, who doesn't make time to talk to their staff about their futures, who doesn't make time to do anything except work, then this video is for you. Time is the only commodity that is not replaceable. It's the thing that you cannot get back. And when people say, I don't have time to do coaching, or I don't have time to implement systems, or I don't have time to talk to my staff, or I don't have time to whatever, what you're saying is, I don't have time to live a better life. How ridiculous. That is the most ridiculous thing that a person can say, because time is not guaranteed to anybody. Your life can take a turn rapidly at any time. And I'm not saying throw caution to the wind and be a person that just does random shit and isn't considerate and concerned and doing what needs to be done to make money and to protect and provide for their families. But what I am saying is that if you only spend time providing for your family through money, and that is all, then there's going to be no point to having done that anyway into your future, because you're not going to have a relationship with your kids or your friends or anybody else. Relationships are all we have at the end of the day. You can't, you don't want to be the richest bloke in the cemetery. You don't want to be the person that has 10 people at your funeral because the only people that you ever had a relationship with was your customers. And it's scary to think how many people I talk to. And even over the weekend, I had a beautiful conversation with a young bloke who's barely 30. He's got a highly, highly successful business. He's got more money than you can throw at anything. And he said to me, I think I've done enough and it's time for me to wind back. And I said, it is, darling, and it's time for you to wind back and look after yourself and your fiance. It's time for you. Because if you are just working and not enjoying your life, some part of the universe is going to tap you on the shoulder and throw you a curveball that forces you to make time for what's important. If you're a person that says, I don't have time to change anything, nothing changes if nothing changes. You will continue on working the way you are, and one of two things will happen. Either your health will suffer or your relationships will suffer. So you've got to decide, which one of those are you happy to let suffer, or are those two things, are you willing to let suffer? Because we actually have nothing in this life if we don't have our health. If we mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally just keep driving ourselves into the ground, we decimate ourselves as human beings, we crush our own souls, and eventually you won't love the work that you think you love so much that's making you so much money. Eventually you will resent the shit out of it. And guess what? There's going to be nobody left there to support you when you're feeling like shit, because all of your time, energy, effort, and love has been poured into work and nothing else. So nothing changes if nothing changes, guys. And this is why businesses like ours exist, is because we don't want that for anybody. Josie and I learnt the hard way in life when we lost our brother and he was 19 years of age. We got a really fucking big dose of a reality check, and we went, you know what? Who cares about money? Money's important. Money will come if you do what you love, and money will come if you protect what's most important, and that is your time and that is your people. And that is right, Tim. You work to live, not live to work. And that is why the Ladies with Tradies model, our little slogan, is work in the trade, live in the life. We're not saying don't work. We're not saying stop being who you are. We're saying do things a little bit differently, because if you have time for nothing except work, soon nothing will have time for you. Nobody will have time for you. There will be nothing for you when the time comes. And so I don't want people out there to be confronted by their own mortality through illness or suffering. And I can speak from experience here, guys. Like, I've done a really good job in my life, especially since Gareth died, of protecting my time to do what makes me happy. But I still ended up with some severe mental health issues because I was doing what I thought I should do in business rather than doing what made me happy. I want you to make time for your business and yourself to build something that is successful enough that you don't have to work like you're working anymore. That's what we want for you. And it doesn't actually take too much time. It'll take, 6 months, 12 months for it to really start cranking and for you to really get your time back. But I promise you it'll be the best thing that you've ever done, because time's not guaranteed to anybody, guys.